Hey, this is Soccer in the South with Wolfman Jeff coming at you. Got a match preview. We are facing Huddersfield on Tuesday afternoon. I think it'll be evening in the UK, just before 3 o'clock Eastern Time. They are going to be on the road at John Smith's Stadium, so it's going to be against the Terriers. Now, on paper, everything should be a lockdown. I mean, this should be easy peasy, no problems. But as we know, real life doesn't always go by the script. And the Terriers have, they faced us at Molineux last time, and they've only had 2 wins this entire season. And one of them, their last win, was against us. So, my friend Dazzlin' Dave had talked about, just kind of got that lingering thought in the background. He worded it differently, but I kind of have the same thing, Dave, where it's like, we should win it. I know we're going to win it. I'm winning it in my heart, but at the same time, I'm remembering November, the November to not remember. And so I do think the Terriers are going to play similar as they did last time. Now, they have a new manager, and so there will be some changes. But one thing they did was they loaded up the middle, and they got our midfielders turned around. And they weren't the only side to do that at that time. Come December and certainly in January, we had worked a lot of that out. We have a different formation now that has seen those same tactics are not working against us now. They'll have to come up with something else. Not saying that they won't, but if they come out and try to beat us like they beat us in November, I don't think it's going to work. And so also, they're a man down. They have a guy out on penalties. I think it's one of their defenders, Tommy Smith. And I'm not sure which players, but there's a couple of them that may be out on injuries. Nuno had announced in a press conference earlier that all of his players are available. So our side is ready to go. So everyone can play. So there isn't anyone out on injuries. I think we're probably going to have the same lineup as we had against Bournemouth. I know we didn't get the exact result we wanted, and we had some difficulties, but I don't think any of it had to do with our starting lineup. There were some external issues as well as some other things, so I think our starting lineup is pretty solid. The only thing I could think is they may change out one of our midfielders and maybe get Saiss or Morgan Gibbs-White in possibly for Moutinho, but boy, I just think Moutinho should start. And bring him out early in the second half if you want, but he just brings so much leadership onto the pitch. Also, he may start Cav instead of Jota. I think Jimenez has to start. He has to start. But, you know, I'm expecting the same starting lineup as we had against Bournemouth. So, as far as for scoring, I'm expecting it to be 0-2 Wolves. And I know that may be a bit ambitious. This side is on their bottom swing right now. They have lost so many in a row. They have not won since they faced us in November. And since we faced them in November, our story has been quite different. So we're on 2 trajectories right now. So the momentum certainly is going our way. We have the quality. We are going to be on their pitch, but I don't think that's going to matter as much. They've got some injuries. They've got a guy out. We should have full squad. So I'm saying this is a Wolves victory, and I'm calling for a clean sheet. I'm calling for 0-2. Maybe Jimenez will score first, and someone else later in the match. Matt Doherty seems to get in there and get some, so I'm going to call for him. Anyone else is fine. I'm good with it if anyone else actually scores, or if we get more than 0-2. But that's what I'm kind of expecting to see. Let me know, what are your thoughts on this match? Is it going to be easy peasy? It should be on paper, but there's that lingering thought I have in the back of my head going, which Wolves show up, I hope are the Wolves we've been seeing is going to show up and go ahead and take this victory. Tell me your thoughts. Who's going to be starting? What's your score prediction? Who do you think is going to score? So this has been a good run, and I'd like to see this continue. I know FA Cup, we're going to be thinking about that in a couple of weeks, but let's put that out of our mind for now. Let's just focus on the Huddersfield match. This one's in front of us. Put our full attention onto it. Let's get a win, and let's get goals because we've got to get back to the 7th spot. Hey, this has been Soccer in the South with Wolfman Jeff.